Chris Cody, do you have the sound for me of the Spanish call of Fernando Mendoza's miracle run through the Hurricanes secondary on 4th and 5, the signature call by a coach in this game? And Spanish is better as a language in terms of fun and funny than English is.
Ay, 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 mandó a Fernando Mendoza. La ofensiva se mantiene en el campo. Es Caleb Black el corredor. Este es Arrat el que estaba en el círculo. Y Mendoza, 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 Mendoza tiene el primer y gol. ¡Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza!
Ay is exactly what everybody in the Miami fan base was feeling on that 4th and 5 as...
The best part about it is that's just as they're getting the play set up. So that is just his pure panic before we get going.
Great call. I wonder what he said.
There's a stadium full of ay before that ball snapped.
And the Hurricanes knew what was coming, and they couldn't stop it anyway. Like, they knew what was coming.
Yeah, they just got the call in too late, according to Corey Heatherman. It's an all-time play in the history of college football. Like, when they put out a montage of national championship game moments, that's up there.
I saw him talking Fernando after the game, and that he's like, if it was zone, I'm running. If it was man, I was going to pass. But the Hurricanes disguised it, so he wasn't sure. So he just was like, I had to trust myself and go for it.
Let's do what Mike is saying there, though, and take the context and the inventory of the moment. When Mike Ryan says, correctly, that what Mendoza did on that play, given the stakes, given the circumstance, 4th and 5, again, I will remind you, and this is just unbelievable to say, and the hangover is still felt in Miami. The win probability of Indiana, given all of the things that you throw into the machine after having seen the game, was 14%, because I think many of us could argue, it's a losing argument because of the scoreboard, but we can argue that Miami is the better team. It's a nowhere argument because they lost. Scoreboard decides. Measurement system's imperfect. It's imperfect forever. Indiana had 2 touchdown drives in the game. One of them aided by multiple third down penalties. The other made possible by 2 4th and 5 conversions. When Mike Ryan says it's a play for all time, he's got it right. But what are the others that go in that discussion? When you think of plays for all time.
Vince Young?
Yeah, Vince Young's running the penalty flag on Miami in the Fiesta Bowl in terms of like championship game moments.
You think other people think about that? I'm not sure.
How can you not?
Tua's throw.
The Tua pass.
Tua's throw.
But average college football fan remembers Ohio State.
The only reason that I would say that you have to remember that is because you never have the situation of fireworks in the sky. I think one team is the champion. Oh, there's a flag on the field. Never mind. The other team now gets to win the championship.
Okay.
It's just not something that has a precedent. But you're right when you say that doesn't have a name attached to it. Locally, it has Terry Porter referee attached to it, but that doesn't have a name attached to it as a play. And usually when you talk about plays for all time, it can never be a penalty flag, and it's usually a play that has an accomplishment on it. It is a success.
And ends the game.
As a play, it's not something that you're just weirded out because you don't understand how a referee just decided a game. So
Deshaun Watson for Clemson. Yeah. It's rare that the moment is not happening at the very end because I do think there was a huge pump block, and that's going to have its own set of lore. But I think you have a Heisman winner surrounded by a big brand logo and players collapsing on him, and him, scrappy Indiana guy, displaying world-class balance and strength, literally willing his team over the line.
Yeah, Jameis with the touchdown drive for FSU at the very end of the game.
Do you guys know what's funny about the Mendoza thing? I actually believe everything about Mendoza is both sincere and sweet, and yet when he jumped into the end zone there and extended the ball, I'm like, wildly unnecessary. He could have just run in. He did that because he knew the size
Really?
of the moment. Yes, I didn't think it was necessary.
I'm not sure
You
he
think
knew.
in the moment
Yes.
he knew,
Yes.
oh, this is dramatic.
Yes.
I've got to
He had
extend
his,
the ball.
back to
That's
them.
crazy.
I'm not
Dan.
exactly sure he knew where other players were.
That is
so he was just like
completely
kind of blind and like, I'm going to
insane.
put all of my
Yeah. That you would have
6'5"
that
frame
tape.
into this.
That's nuts.
I understand why, because it was like extra dramatic, but he got spun around like a couple of times.
That guy, you think that guy is like, flair for the dramatic. I've got to extend.
Not only, Jeremy, do I believe that, because I believe he knew he was going to get in, but the other way looks more theatrical and wonderful. I'm not even criticizing him for it. I'm simply saying that part he was giving you a little extra. It was not necessary because he knew the size of the moment.
Man, I think it's kind of like the build up to him. Like, I've got nothing left. I've just fought through hell. And I'm
spinning
just,
around,
just
which
diving
way's the
in.
theatrical,
And
he
I'm just
says.
going to javelin myself into this end zone.
Correct.
Ay, ay, ay.
I am telling you that I believe. Look, he got it by more than the length of his body. He didn't need to do that
Yeah,
with
but
the football.
that's going to be the sad show.
Correct.
And he put his body in the perfect
Correct.
place for the
I'm
sad
not
show.
criticizing. I'm really not criticizing
It's
it.
just very critical.
How is it critical? What's critical about it? What's
It's not critical. It's just insane. This is the diary of an insane person.
No, I don't believe it's the diary of
I
an
think it's a
insane
little bit of
person.
both.
I'm going to watch this play again because
put
I
on-
think you're way off.
I think
on
it's a
that.
little bit of both.
crazy.
I can understand why Dane it was like he put a little flair on that, but I also think it's just exhaustion and like I did it.
He knew he was going to get in either way, so he did it that way. And it's the better way to do it. But he knew he was going to get in. He was there. He was already there. He was safe, and he was
You're
fine.
making it seem like he's breaking down the sideline and had it the whole way.
No,
and,
what
like,
I'm saying to you
Can you
is
get the
he's
telestrator
got
out?
like 6 guys around
This
him.
is nuts.
Can we get that play on the telestrator?
I don't believe
I don't
we're
think we
allowed.
can, yeah.
I believe
Just
we
a
can
still?
we can do the still.
Maybe Dan will recreate it back there.
We can do the still if you guys want, but I believe he put a little extra mustard on it. What's wrong with that? A little extra sauce on it, a little extra theater on it. You guys are all disagreeing with me on this. Everyone, I am alone in this opinion of thinking that Mendoza put an extra little spice on it because he could, because it's wonderful to be him. And he had his moment, and he was in the center of everything, and he knew exactly what it is that he was doing. And it was theatrical. I'm alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because you're associating him with me doesn't mean he's doing something theatrical.
I'm not associating him with you, although your narcissism is amazing and thinking anytime I'm thinking of the theater, I'm thinking of you.
Yeah.
Well, every time the theater comes up, you
That's
do call
true.
me a theater kid.
That's
Every
true.
single time. Which, by the way, the New York Times says is a derogatory insult, theater kid. A new political insult.
The numbers on these ratings,
You delivered that theatrically.
Nothing on
I
that,
know I
Dan?
did. I put a little mustard on it.
the numbers on these ratings to have this be the biggest sporting event, non-football division. I know this is kind of cheating, right? Because every year, the top 100 things watched in America, 94 of them are football related, professional football related, and then the other 6 is like some royal family interview or something that Oprah did. But to have this game produce, this still doesn't help me. Because,
Dan.
no,
It doesn't help you because you're looking for something that doesn't exist.
Throw up the still image that Dan is looking at, please.
The still image.
He didn't need a
doesn't help me
dive.
here.
Look at that.
The-
It's full extension.
Yes, the still.
Moten has a clubbed
That's
hand
right.
looking
Moten has a machete
He's looking
in
to
his hand.
punch him.
Yes,
It
yes.
looks like if he didn't jump, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
That's,
Yes.
that's what it looks like in the still. The still does not help me. I will concede that the still buries me, but in real
Easy
time,
walk into the end zone, as Dan described.
I did not.
You said he had it.
He did have it.
He clearly had it, and he did it for the flair of the dramatic, for a theatrical
He
decision.
They probably lose the game if he doesn't do that.
You're an insane person.
You've lost your mind.
He did not. This does not
Moten
help
is
me.
looking to destroy him.
I will grant you that this one does not favor me. This, in terms of circumstantial evidence, this particular photo does not help me. But
Still not helping.
He's getting hit from the side.
he could have just run right in. Could have run right in between between all of them. Could have made it standing. Could have made it standing.
Your
without being
conviction is
knocked over.
dwindling.
You think this is like the guy who like dives into first base for the flair of the dramatic rather than running through the bag? That's what you have this as.
He knew he was going to get there, and he was going to get there, whether he dived or not. The numbers, though, on the game.
Why do you think that is? Because this number is insane. Miami has a brand that we've been told for 20 years is nationally relevant. I guess the Miami U helmet does mean something. A lot of people have suggested the Indiana story has gone there. I think it's a combination of everything. These were two great stories, and obviously the most important component is the game was good.
I think you're discounting the bump that it got from Dominion.
The second half was good. The first half was a little bit hard to watch. The second half, anytime you have drama of that kind, close game, Miami ends up scoring 3 touchdowns in the second half, and it's not enough. The second half of that game was wonderful.
I also think that Miami in particular played like 4 really interesting games in this college football playoff. Yeah. So even people who are like passive sports fans or casual observers, yeah, my dad got into it because of the Cuban thing, but the games that Miami were in were edge-of-your-seat type of games, so people were more familiar with this story. The balance of the entire postseason as a whole set the table so brilliantly for a final that really captured a nation.